وسلم رسوله النبي الأمين المكين الحنين الكريم الرؤوف الرحيم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال الله تعالى في شأن حبيبه إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما تحب وترضى بأن تصلي عليه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Most respected ulama, my respected elders, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We are on the hadith narrated by Imam at-Tirmidhi in Kitab al-Zuhd in his Jami' of at-Tirmidhi, and we are on the hadith which is by Abu Kabasha al-Ammari rahmatullahi ta'ala wa radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He said, Abu Kabasha, حدثني أبو كبشة الأنماري أنه سمع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم يقول ثلاث أقسم عليهن وأحدثكم حديثا فاحفظوه. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated, he says, there are three things for which I swear and I take a qasam and I narrate to you about it. Now you must imagine how serious this matter is, that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is taking an oath, and he's saying, not only am I taking an oath, but I'm narrating it to you as well so that you are aware of it. This is my outlook and this is my attitude and this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said, قال ما نقص مال عبد من صدقة ولا ظلم عبد مظلمة فصبر عليها إلا زاد الله عزا ولا فتح عبد باب مسألة إلا فتح الله عليه باب فقر أو كلمة نحوها. Right? The Holy Prophet ﷺ stated, there are three things for which I swear and narrate to you about it. I take an oath on it and I narrate it to you. The Holy Prophet ﷺ stated, number one, he said, the wealth of a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall not be decreased by charity. Look at the prophetic outlook in terms of wealth and what to spend on and what to withhold, and look at our outlook. But we'll get to that just now. The wealth of a slave of Allah shall not be decreased by charity. Guaranteed. He takes an oath on Allah. I swear by God. The most truthful one, As-Sadiq al-Wa'd al-Amin, is making an qasam and an oath. He said the wealth of a person will not decrease by him giving charity. Okay? Thereafter, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, no slave of Allah suffers injustice, dhulm, any type of dhulm whatsoever, right? If your rights have been trampled upon, if people have taken away what is due to you, if people have caused you some type of physical, emotional, mental harm, any type of dhulm whatsoever, whether it's political, whether it is social, whether it is domestic, dhulm, domestic abuse falls under the category of dhulm, right? There's so many other types of dhulm, right? The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, and any person who suffers any type of injustice and in face of that type of dhulm and injustice is patient, right? Except that Allah adds to his honor. So the more patient you are in the face of injustice, the more you maintain your decorum, the more you maintain your composure, the more you maintain your generous tolerance, the more you show real, true, genuine strength and courage by facing that deed or that oppression. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases your honor in his sight. Allahu Akbar. And then the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens a door to begging, except that Allah opens a door for him to poverty. Sadaqa Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? These are very important hadith because the Prophet of Allah used to swear, take an oath, right? And on numerous occasions he would take an oath. And every time he takes an oath, you've got to pay very careful attention to it because the Holy Prophet ﷺ is trying to emphasize something here and he's trying to put a very critical point across. So he said, I swear on these three things. The first one, the wealth of a slave of Allah shall not be decreased by charity. On the contrary, ash-shaytanu ya'idukum al-faqr. Right? Shaitan, right, entices you. Right? And in one way or other deludes you with faqr, with poverty. We call it the what's it called? There's something which is called the abundance principle, right? And then you have the philosophy of poverty. So generally, even the people who have wealth, who are financially stable, they still have the poverty philosophy. They don't have the abundance principle. right? Because they are poor in their hearts. ليس الغنى غنى القلب ليس الغنى عن كثرة العرض ولكن الغنى غنى القلب. Wealth is not about excessive amounts of money and portfolios and whatever it is. ولكن الغنى غنى القلب. But true wealth and true richness is the richness of the heart. So you have many people who have lots of finance, lot of wealth, lot of money, physical, material money, right? But they are poor in heart, they are poor in spirit, they are poor in generosity. Right? And they are constantly fearful of the fact, right, that they're going to lose their wealth. And interestingly, you will see them envious of those people who have more than them. You'll see them envious of those people who have more than them. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and the general tendency in our community is that we spend more on ourselves, more on our comforts and more on our luxury, not realizing that the more you spend on yourself, besides your requirements, which is now compulsory on you, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, that doesn't fall under the category of spending. We are talking about extravagant, right, unnecessary and just superfluous spending. Right? When we engage in superfluous and unnecessary expenditure, right, and do not channel that excess money that we have, right, into profitable and beneficial things, there, what we don't realize is that we're actually losing our money. Whereas if you spend the same amount of excess wealth in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are going to actually profit from it. See how Islamic economic works. Right? If you have excess, spend it in the path of Allah, guaranteed you're going to get a return. And if you have excess and you spend it on yourself, guaranteed you're going to lose. So what's the profitable business to engage in? Spending in the path of Allah or spending it on yourself? Excess. Spending in the path of Allah. Rasulullah is giving you guarantee. This is not no bank guarantee. This is no bank guarantee. This is Prophet's guarantee. He says, you spend it in the path of Allah. Rasulullah's guarantee is with the command of Allah. Your wealth will never decrease. Your wealth will never decrease. There's an abundance principle, right? Where even the poor, who may not be financially wealthy, financially capable, will give in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they have a degree of independence that even the wealthy people don't have. Right? You see the person who's wealthy, worried about, 101 insurance, policies and everything he's got to keep there. The one policy for another policy, so he doesn't have to pay the capital gains tax after they die. So take out one more policy to cover the cost of the capital. Baba, for who? For who? You're going to be dead, right? Those mites and everything, and start consuming your body inside there. The only people who are going to benefit out of it there are your entitled, spoilt children, who don't know the value of what you have earned, who won't even make one dua for you at your grave. Ask me, I'll tell you. Ask me, I'll tell you. You'll be lucky if they'll come visit you twice a year. You'll be lucky. Right? So the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, charity will not decrease, I swear on Allah, by virtue of you spending it in the path of Allah. And then the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, he said, any type of injustice that you suffer, and you bear it with dignity and decorum, right? And with absolute courage and integrity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will honor you even more. So sometimes we may think that the people who are suffering dhulm from a political perspective in Yemen and Syria and where other places, the Uyghurs of China and so on, and Palestine and so on, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His sight, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is increasing them in honor. So what would you rather have? Be abased by those people there who are the tyrants, or to be honored in the sight of Allah? And the last one is a very important one. If we have the abundance principle, then you have this philosophy out there, the philosophy of poverty. There's a tendency in our community, right, particularly with the have-nots, right, who become comfortable, right, in seeking handouts. Who become comfortable in seeking handouts. They reach a point where they become brazen about it. They couldn't be bothered because they become so habituated to begging and asking and playing broke. This mindset of playing broke. Mind you, by the way, quite a few wealthy people that I know also pay broke. Because some things are bad. Hey, check my balance sheet. Check the statement. I'm I'm on OD there. They're not telling you that the money is still coming in 5 days' time inside there. We should cover everything. No, because some things are very bad. The moment the person adopts this poverty, principle, right? When oh, things are bad. What is this? Carry on behaving like that there, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will truly take away your wealth. And Allah will open up the door of poverty. Right? 99, I don't know, you put a statistic to it. You ask the wealthy person, how do things are bad? I heard that in 2008, right? 2012, things are bad. 2014, things were bad. But in the internet, while things were bad, right? Business flourished, cars were bought, properties were purchased, everything went on better than normal. Holidays were 5 times instead of 3 times, but things are bad. Things are only bad when it comes in terms of spending in the path of Allah. Really, ask me, I've seen it a million times over. The guy will negotiate with you, right, to increase the charity by 10%, right, but he won't negotiate, right, for a million rand motor car that he wants to buy. No, I'll pay you extra for it. You know what? I want to be the first one to buy it. Tell me, there the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated, and that's where this poverty principle comes in again. That when you start becoming excessive with the excess wealth that you have, right, in terms of self-satisfaction, there, Allah subhanahu wa taala opens up the doors of poverty for you. And we have a general, like one of those litmus tests. When you see a guy flying too high, right, and when you see that he's decreased his charity and so on inside there, okay, sooner or later they're gonna crash. You have the stock market crashes, we have the spiritual crashes as well. Right? We know, there's it, and they're going to crash. And lo and behold, it happened. Allah safeguards.